Hello and welcome back to Crypto Novus, where newbies become masters. My name is Chris Brown and I'm the host. Today I'm going to be doing a price prediction on Mana for 2021. With all of the news talking about NFTs or non-fungible tokens, I thought it was very appropriate to do a price prediction on Mana since it uses one. The other reason is Mana has seen a fantastic year so far in 2021, so I'm kind of curious as to where it could go from its present position. But first, as always, I'd like to give a shout to Swan. I'm affiliate marketer of Swan. If you're looking for a way to just invest in Bitcoin only and to dollar cost average, this is a good way to do so. You can start an account with as little as $10. And I think what Swan is doing and the fees that they charge are very reasonable, and they offer the retail investor a great option. As always, I am not a financial advisor. I'm not offering financial advice. I'm offering education. So this video is not to be perceived as investment advice, but as education. Please do your own research. Understand the risks involved with investing in cryptocurrency and make the wisest decision you can based on the research you've done for you and your family. As always, I'd like to put in the 12 price influencers for cryptocurrencies. I try to cover 5 of these in the video, but what that means is there's 7 remaining. So take a look at the additional 7, and as you're trying to evaluate the pros and cons of any particular digital asset, keep in mind these 12 different influencers and determine for yourself how they will impact the investment that you're trying to make. So let's talk about Mana or Decentraland basics. It is a virtual world. So Decentraland, the project was launched with an ICO in 2017. Since then, the community has increased involvement. The marketplace within the platform has many new additions. There are new business partnerships, and of course, they reached a new all-time high in Q1 of 2021. So what is Decentraland? Decentraland is a virtual reality platform. It's a virtual world that's built on the Ethereum blockchain, which allows the users within that environment to create items, experiences, and to monetize the content that they create. It's a virtual world, as I've mentioned. To me, it's like virtual monopoly. It was created or co-founded by 2 gentlemen back in 2017, which have moved on to other entrepreneurial ventures, but from time to time, they still act as advisors to the present leadership for Decentraland. The number of Mana coins. So when the platform was created back in 2017, 2.8 Mana were in fact mined. The breakdown is as follows. 40% were for pre-launch sales, which raised about $24 million. And then the remaining 60 were equally broken up into 20% increments, with 560 million being held in reserve by Decentraland. 560 million were given to the community as initiatives, and then the founding development team and contributors, they retain another 560 million. Since the launch, 600 million of Mana have been burned due to land auctions. So this is kind of nice. As Mana is being used as a medium of exchange of value within the virtual world, the burn rate's about 2.5%. So presently, the maximum supply of Mana is a little over 2.1 billion. The present circulation supply is a little over 1.5 billion, or 72%. Again, Mana is the digital asset or token that's used to pay for goods and services in Decentraland, and it is an ERC20 token. The business case for Mana is connected to the virtual world or Decentraland. So this virtual world was created for creators, content creators, and for businesses looking for a new artistic medium and a place to create, invent, and play. Within Decentraland or the metaverse, there are plots, are parcels, about 90,000, a little over 90,000 of them, which is called land, and they are represented by a non-fungible token, the ERC721, and they're 100 square meters a pop. Within Decentraland, the value of owning Mana is, if you really want to play in this space and create in this space and interact in this virtual world, owning Mana gives you a voice within this world. So those that hold Mana tokens, They have the ability to do proposals on how they want this environment to work. They have voting rights, and they have a say in what kind of auctions and the types of content that is created in their utopia world. So let's take a look at Mana successes for 2020 and 21. And Mana has seen an incredible price increase this year. And we'll take a look at that a little later. The marketplace, as I mentioned before, this, from when I was looking on the website, this has really boomed over the years. It's loaded full of virtual products that people can buy. And in the marketplace, this is where you go and buy and sell parcels. This is where you buy and sell clothes, as you can see in the photograph there. You can also buy and sell names. So the marketplace is where all of the transactions occur for goods and services. For community development, Decentraland creates these events or experiences that happen throughout the year. One of them happens to be Art Week, which is pretty fantastic. I would recommend going to the website if you're into this kind of thing and taking a look at what they're able to create. There's some pretty fun, creative stuff that comes up from these artists that are creating things in the computer digital world. Marketplace wearables is really what seems to be booming, and there's a lot of competition with that. I just happened to pick up one. There was a team that put together some designs for, the team was called Ethereumon. So they created a set of garments for that particular character. And as you can see, hats, upper body, lower body garments, footwear, and then a couple accessories. These products are what you buy and sell. I mean, you basically purchase these. If you want to resell them, you put them up for a price in Mana, and things are exchanged within the virtual world. Atari, going back to businesses. So Atari made a play to get involved with Decentraland. They actually bought a parcel, or some parcels, a pretty large estate apparently, and they're going to create a video arcade, where games are going to be created by people within Decentraland so that they can play them. So it's like the arcade down at Santa Monica Pier, but this is going to be in the virtual world, and it's interesting that a company like Atari is jumping in, which tells you the value of this. And we'll talk a little bit more about just a high level of what's happening in the blockchain world when it comes to gaming. So price predictions. Decentraland is sitting at around 50, 60, depends on the price in the day, but that's its level. You can kind of see it there in the middle of the screen. It's next to Synthetics, it's in the same neighborhood as Compound, Ravencoin, etc., because the market cap is sitting around 1.7 billion. This is the slide that I always use to validate the prices that I use for Bitcoin and the overall potential for the crypto market cap. So let's take a look at what Decentraland Mana did in 2008. So back in 2008, it peaked at a price of 24 cents. It had a market dominance of just a fraction of a tenth of a percent, and relative to its price to Bitcoin, it wasn't very high as well. But those were the markers. Now today on March 29th, it's ranked number 60. The circulation supply, as mentioned before, is just over 1.5 billion. The market cap is 1.7 billion, a little over 1.7 billion. Its market dominance is 0.1% right now, which is pretty decent for such a small project. In 2020, its price right now is $1.08. It actually peaked to $1.19, almost $1.20. Its price relative to Bitcoin is almost back to where it was back in 2008. If we take a look and see what this digital token did in 2020, it started at 3 cents and more than doubled and went as high as 7 cents for a 2.5x growth for that year. In 2021, it started at a little over 8 cents, but it jumped all the way to $1.19, which is 14.3x in growth, which that's really good. And so if you take a look at the chart, it's almost parabolic, almost a straight line up, and it's holding, which is interesting. It peaked to the 119, dropped to about 83 cents, and now it's back up to 108. So it's kind of feels like this is where it wants to sit, in that it wasn't just a pump and dump scenario, which is really good. So what I did is I simply said, we're at the beginning of the second quarter of this year, and I think at this point in time, the way I'm going to address digital assets is where they're sitting right now relative to the market. I'm going to ride them out for the rest of the year. I mean, it could change. I'm not saying that's an absolute, but that's the way I'm going to. I think that's a conservative approach, and that's the way I'm going to approach the pricing. So if Bitcoin reaches 146,000, I can see Mana reaching $2.77 or doing another 2.6x growth, which is reasonable from where it's at right now, and it corresponds to what happened in 2020. If the crypto market cap goes up as high as 3.3 trillion, it stays at the 0.1%. I can see a Mana price of $2.09, which is it almost doubles where it's at right now. If Bitcoin goes up as high as 276,000, keep in mind Bobby Lee mentioned that it could possibly hit 300,000 by the end of the year. And again, the price relative to Bitcoin stays the same as it is right now. Mana could be at $5.24, or it could see a 4.86x growth, almost 5. If the crypto market goes as high as the total crypto market goes as high as 7.7 trillion, again, market dominance for Mana stays at the 0.1%. Mana could be just slightly under $5 at about $4.88. So I always do an average. So for 2021, the low could be, from where it's at right now, it could be from $2, a little over $2, to about $5.24. The average is $3.60. If I look at where it's at today at 108, that could be a 3.4x. Not overly impressive, but it's already had a tremendous growth of 14. So just to add on a little bit more to this would be fantastic. If you take the if it reaches $3.66 and it goes all the way to 8 cents, what is that real quick? Let me do the quick math on that one. That would be a 45x for the year. So for those of you in the Mana community, good for you. Here's my final thoughts. The positives on this is there's the burning of tokens and there's a fixed supply. That's always a good, because you're not dealing with token inflation. The price dropped to 83 cents, but it jumped back up to $1. So that leads me to feel like it's going to stay above $1 and continue to go on up. So I think these increases are reasonable. The business case, in my opinion, is strong. What I'm learning about the crypto, or what I'm learning about blockchain, and I'm learning about the gaming industry, the gaming industry, as we all know, is a huge market. The blockchain technology in gaming is just beginning. I was listening to Coin Bureau, and they made a comment that the blockchain gaming industry is at the same phase as Pong was in the video industry. Well, I kind of grew up on Pong, and that was a long time ago, and things have definitely changed since then. So to me, if you're really into this world and into this, if you're into this particular world and into investing in it, I think if you stay the long haul, you could probably see some really good benefits from it. The partnerships, the gaming community, I can begin, as I'm looking more into this, I'm seeing a lot of involvement from companies that are wanting to partner with each other to expand it, because it's such a strong market for the generation coming up. And so I would still continue to look for more partnerships. I have to admit, though, I like the partnerships, or what I was able to discover with Engine. I would have liked to see more. If I missed something, you can definitely just ping me down below and let me know that I've missed something, and I'll take a second look at it. So those are my final thoughts and predictions for Mana. Again, if you liked the video, always hit the like button. And by all means, please subscribe to the Crypto Novas community, especially if you're new to the crypto market, because Crypto Novas is where newbies become masters. It was nice chatting with you. Look forward to seeing you in the next video. Chris Brown out.